Hello and welcome to another update on the McMinnville real estate market. I'm Steve Thoele, principal broker with Premier Property Group, and this update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, May 21st. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you here. So start off looking at active listings. We had 10 new properties come on the market last week in McMinnville. You can kind of see that that's kind of right in the middle of the range where it's been. We had a low of 5 and a high of 13 come on the market in any one week. And then we ended this last week with 50 homes in total on the market. You can kind of see that that's been a fairly tight range. We had a low of 42, and this last week was a slight high at the 50. Median list price and days on market for those active listings. You can see the list price has been on the rise, particularly over the past month. We had a low of about 543 about 6 weeks back, and you can kind of see the upward trajectory here. This last week coming in at 621,000, which was a pretty good leap over the prior couple weeks. And then the days on market, you can kind of see where that's tracked at a low of 24 days here about 8 weeks back, and that crept up to about 37 days 3 weeks ago. Last couple weeks has been kind of coming back down, and this last week came in at 26 days of average market time for these most recent 50 homes that are on the market right now in McMinnville. Moving along to pending sales. This last week I showed we had 6 properties go pending, and you can see that's kind of matches a low for the past 8 weeks in terms of new pendings per week. Had a high of 13 here about 4 weeks back. In total, though, you can see that we have been having an increase in the total number of pendings over this past 8 weeks. Had a low of 46, and that has kind of gradually worked its way up to last 2 weeks now. It's been at 63 homes that have been in pending status. So continues to be good movement on homes getting into contract as they're coming on the market. The median price and days on market for those pendings, you can see that's been very steady on both measures here. In terms of the price, you can kind of see we had a low of about 450, and over this past month, it has been sitting right at 470,000. And then the days on market, we had after we're hitting a high of 13 days, most recently here about 5 weeks back, it's only come down to about 9. So this last 3 weeks, you can kind of see it's been very steady at around 9 to 10 days of average market time for the homes that are going pending. So, still, on average, homes that are getting into contract are not staying on the market very long right now in McMinnville. And then finally, we'll look at the sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the info together, I showed we had 4 properties last week flip over from pending to sold. You can kind of see that matches a low. We've touched on a few points over the past 8 weeks here in terms of weekly closings. We'll see if this gets adjusted up here over the next week. And we had a high of 12 here about 4 weeks back. And then when I look over the prior 4 weeks of closings on a week-by-week basis, you can kind of see after hitting a high of about 35 listings here, 6-7 weeks back, it has kind of come down this last week, coming in at 25 homes have sold over the prior 4 weeks now in McMinnville. And then the sold price, median sold price and days on market for the sold listings, you can kind of see we kind of had a high here over this past 8 weeks at just under 500,000 over a couple weeks here about a month back. Has been on the decline from that point over the past 3 weeks, hitting about close to about 450 this last week for these most recent 25 homes that have closed. And then the days on market, you can see where that's tracked. We had a high of 21, a low of 9. This last week came in at 14 days. So just about 2 weeks of average market time, again, for these most recent 25 closings in McMinnville. And then last thing we'll look at is the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So the weeks of inventory is the red bars, kind of measures, relative supply and demand levels in any market. And after hitting a low of about 5 weeks of inventory, closer to the beginning of the period here, it has been kind of going up in general. This last week we did have a high, but it's still only about 8 weeks of inventory. So just about 2 months worth of inventory right now, based upon the level of supply that we have in the market versus what has sold over the prior 4 weeks. So still a pretty, very active market right now. And you can see that as well on the sale price as a percent of the list price. It's been, a low of 97%, right up to about 99%. So it hasn't had a big range here over the past 8 weeks. This last week came in at about 97.5. So, things are still selling relatively close to their original asking price on average in McMinnville. So just, still points to just a very, active, more of a seller's market environment still is remaining right now in McMinnville. So I hope that update was helpful for you. As always, if I can ever answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number is, it's down below in the description. So feel free to give me a call, send me a text. My email is there as well. You can send me an email and let me know what I can do to help. So I really appreciate you watching, tuning in, and hope to see you on the next video.